What's up guys, it's your boy Ollie, here to bring you another sustainable fashion interview. Today we're going to be talking about one of my other favorite shoes. This one is specifically great if you like to skate and you want a shoe that you can skate in but is also good for the planet. This is the Cariuma Catiba Pro. And I got the all leather version just because I wanted it to last as long as possible. And this shoe only comes in all white. But if you get the suede and canvas, it actually will come in many different colorways, some really unique ones as well. Now, one of the reasons why I bought this shoe in the leather instead of the suede and canvas is because I live in Ukraine, in Kyiv to be specific, and it's really difficult to get shoes from other countries shipped over here. The post office and all that doesn't always necessarily work as well as I would like it to. And so it's just safer to have these shipped to my parents in America and then brought back over when they make a trip over here, which honestly isn't very often. So because of that, I wanted to get a shoe that would last as long as possible. So even though I do really care about the environment and I also care about animals, I would prefer something that is more canvas or suede. Ultimately, I believe that for me, the best sustainable decision is to get all leather because it's just going to last so much longer. And when you add up all the other carbon footprints of all the processes that go into getting a new shoe to you, I believe it's better to use sustainably sourced leather than organic cotton or canvas for a shoe, because you want a shoe that's going to last a long time. And getting less shoes that are maybe made from animal products as opposed to more shoes that are completely vegan, in my book, I believe it's a little bit more sustainable and better for the planet overall. I've seen a lot of reviews for this shoe that focus on skateability, which is great, and that's one of the reasons why I personally chose this shoe. There are some other sustainable shoe brands out there that I really like. I have my review of the Nothing New men's high tops. They're one of my favorite sustainable brands. But honestly, I don't believe that they're going to be really great for skating. The canvas is going to wear through super quick, and like I said, it's really hard for me to get other shoes over here. And overall, I believe that buying less shoes is better, even if you are buying the most sustainable shoes possible, because you have to consider all the other carbon footprint aspects of your purchase, especially shipping and things like that. But in this review, I'm not going to be focusing on the skateability of this shoe. To be honest, I actually haven't skated them yet. Instead, I'm going to be focusing on them and their wearability and a lot of the sustainable pieces that go into them and how they're made. So first of all, I'd like to start from the laces and basically work my way down, talking about the different materials that they use in this shoe that make it one of the most sustainable skate shoes available on the market today. So the laces themselves are made from recycled PET plastic, which is certified by the Global Recycled Standard. And a nice added touch are these little metal aglets that actually have the Cariuma branding on them. It just makes the shoes have an overall really luxurious and high quality feel to them. So next we're going to talk about the leather that goes into this shoe. On this particular shoe, it's used in the upper and the collar lining. Now, all the leather that they use is certified by the Leather Working Group. And the leather that they use is also sourced from places like Argentina, Thailand, and China to ensure that none of the cattle that are going into this leather are herding on places where the Amazon rainforest was cleared down. So even though the company itself is from Brazil, they source it from other places just to ensure the integrity of their natural ecosystem there. And the leather itself is tanned using vegetable tanning instead of harmful chemicals, as well as 100% of the water that's used in the leather factories is recycled and reused. So none of that tainted water is going back out into the ecosystem. In addition, they use alternative energy sources like solar panels to power their leather tanning facilities. Next, these shoes also have some cotton canvas in them. On this particular model, the only place where you see the cotton canvas is going to be the inside of the tongue and inside of the shoe. All around the back part of the shoe on the inside is still leather, but on the inside towards the toe cap here, you have some organic cotton canvas. And this is all GOTS certified, which is the Global Organic Textile Standard. It's certified by them, and so it ensures that when that cotton is being farmed, there are no harmful pesticides that are going to be affecting the farmers negatively or the land and the water supply in that area. Going down to the soles themselves, these are made from 100% natural rubber. So there's no plastic or anything else that goes into these soles, and the rubber itself is sourced from ethical tapping methods that don't actually harm the trees, and they allow the same trees to produce rubber for a very long time. So after talking about the soles, the next thing is to talk about the insoles, which are really, really important for skate shoes because they're going to provide the comfort and the cushion that keeps your feet from getting hurt, especially when you're doing big stair sets or tricks down drops. So the insoles that they have here are made with some organic cotton canvas on the top, some cork, which is a sustainable material because cork can be harvested from trees in a way that doesn't actually harm the tree itself, so the same tree can continue to provide cork for years to come. And then this bottom part here is made from mimosa oil, which is an organic and plant-based alternative to petroleum. And if you feel it here, it's super cushiony, super comfy, and it's honestly one of my favorite parts of these shoes. In addition, all of the dyes that they use throughout these shoes and all of the shoes that they make are Blue Sign certified. And Blue Sign is basically a company based out of Switzerland that just certifies that the different dyes and chemicals that are being used are as sustainable as possible, not just for the planet, but also sustainable for the people and the workers that are producing them. Speaking of workers' rights, that's something that I'm also really proud of for Cariuma doing, is they ensure that all of their workers in all of their facilities are making a living wage and being treated fairly, which is something that I believe more sustainable companies could put a higher focus on. Because at the end of the day, sustainability isn't just about doing what's good for the planet, but what's doing good for people as well. In addition, their warehouses are powered using 100% alternative energy sources like solar panels, and they are air conditioned so that they ensure the integrity of your shoe, because it gets really hot down in Brazil and you wouldn't want these melting or warping at all in the warehouse before they get to you. To save on electricity, their warehouse also uses LED lighting and a cooling tower that monitors consumption. In addition, it is LEED Gold certified as well for environmental standards. Whew. Okay. That was a lot of information about how these shoes are made, but what about how they feel on your foot? And why is it that I purchased them, and why is it that I would purchase them again? So my first impression from these shoes is that they're absolutely beautiful. And there's a lot of little details that go into them that give them an air of being very high-end and high quality. The craftsmanship is immaculate, and one of the things that stands out to me first is this sewn in sole right here. This is something like on the Nothing News that is really a high-end luxury sneaker technique, and I'm really excited to see it being implemented in a skate shoe because it helps to improve the longevity of the shoe overall. The other thing that I think is super impressive about these shoes is this insole, and the cork insole is just so comfortable, while also making sure that you feel sturdy and supported. It's really comfortable and feels like you're walking on clouds. I like the fact that this back here is a little bit thicker so that especially when you're skating or doing things, your heel is going to be more protected. But this front part here is a little bit thinner so that you can still feel the ground. Whether or not I'm actually skating in these, that's something that I expect from a shoe, because I personally have gotten used to wearing skate shoes just about everywhere, growing up skating and most of my shoes being skate shoes. So I want a shoe that feels like that, even if I'm just gonna wear them walking around. It really imitates a traditional Vans or Converse, something of that sort, but with much more comfort. And specifically, I want to talk about my first experience with these shoes. So I got these shoes brand new a couple days before my girlfriend and I went to Istanbul for about a week. And I was really nervous because I don't get leather shoes very much, and a lot of the leather shoes that I've had have been really stiff and taken a lot of time to break in. However, as soon as I got these, the leather was already super soft and it felt really comfortable even within the first wear. From what I've been told, I'm not a big consumer of leather goods. It's something that I'm trying to get more leather shoes just because I want shoes that will last and I want to have to buy less shoes overall. So I have been getting more leather shoes. But one of the things that I know from a friend of mine who gets a lot of leather goods and a lot of leather shoes is that this really soft, supple leather is a sign of really, really high quality leather. So that's something that I was really impressed with. One of the things I would like to point out though is on their website, when you're looking at this particular shoe, the all white leather Catiba Pro, it actually shows that the insole, instead of the cork here, is gonna have leather. Now, when I got these, instead of the leather on the insole here, it is cork, which for me, I actually prefer, so I'm really happy. My feet can get pretty sweaty. I get hot really, really easily. So the cork, I feel like, is a little bit more absorbent and cushioning than leather right here would be. And I also feel like when I eventually get around to skating them, the cork's gonna stick better than the leather would, which is something that I know just because I have a cork yoga mat, and it's specifically helpful for when you get really sweaty, you won't slip on it. It gets more absorbent and it actually grips better. So I'm really happy about the cork insoles, but it is something just to keep in mind because when you look on the website, unless they update it, at this moment, it will show that it comes with leather right here, but they do in fact come with cork. So back to my story about Istanbul. When we got there, I had never been there before, and there's so many hills, and we were walking more there than we've walked in a long time, simply because we wanted to walk everywhere instead of taking any public transportation. So because of that, a lot of the shoes that I had that were regularly pretty comfortable ended up kind of hurting my feet after a while. Some of them were great, but just didn't have enough cushion on the bottom. Other ones, I wasn't used to wearing them that much, and so the back part here was actually giving me small blisters. And that was one of the biggest problems. Was a couple days in, I wore one of the shoes that gave me blisters on the back of my heel, and then all of my other shoes were hurting those blisters that I already had on there. So these actually ended up being the shoes that I wore the most when I was there because they were the most comfortable. Despite the fact that they were brand new leather shoes that I hadn't broken in yet, these were still more comfortable than almost any of my other shoes. The only other shoes that I really could stand to wear around were my Nothing News. So these shoes right here, the Catiba Pros in the leather and my Nothing New Better Canvas were the two most comfortable shoes that I have. And if you're looking just for a shoe to walk around in, I would definitely suggest this. Right now, I like wearing this when I want like a low top and something maybe with a slightly bulkier build, because the Nothing News that I have are really great for a slim silhouette and for a high top. But when I want something that's low top and a little bit bulkier, these are definitely my choice. And I've just been enjoying wearing them around because eventually I'm gonna skate these, and I'll do another review after I skate them to kind of tell you how I like them on a board, the board feel I get, and their durability when skating. But for right now, I'm just enjoying the crisp whiteness as I wear them around. They've gotten a little bit dirty around the edges here, and I'm gonna clean them up and do another video showing you me cleaning these shoes as well as my Nothing News, so you can kind of see my cleaning methods when it comes to leather shoes versus canvas shoes. But overall, I've been super happy with these. Haven't skated them yet, but even if you don't skate, these are a wonderful shoe. These shoes are designed so wonderfully. I really believe that they're a timeless classic just waiting to be made. And part of that is the fact that they're super comfortable. The craftsmanship that goes into them is immaculate, and they really didn't cut any corners when making these shoes. In addition, they're super sustainable, One of the things that I didn't mention is that when you buy a pair of these shoes, they'll actually plant 2 trees for every pair that you buy, which is just another reason to love Cariuma and what they're about as a brand. Now, if you're looking for a budget skate shoe, these probably aren't it, especially the leather ones. You can get the suede and canvas ones for about $89, but these leather ones here are about $139 last time I checked. Now, the nice thing is that they usually have free shipping codes, so I didn't pay anything for shipping, and they came really quickly. Even though they were coming from Brazil, I had them shipped to America and they got there in a couple days. So these are a little bit more expensive. However, I haven't skated these yet, but at least for just wearing around, I would say it's worth it, because if you go and you get a more premium sneaker, they're probably going to be upwards of $100 anyways. But with these ones, you know that they're really going to last because of the durability and the craftsmanship that went into it. This extra sewn in sole itself is going to save you months and months of extra time, which on a traditional sneaker would just be ripped away right away within the first couple months. So I've been wearing this, like I said, pretty much consistently for the last 3 to 4 months, I think about 6 months now. And this part right here is still attached and it still looks perfect. They just need a little bit of cleaning. And that's really just an ode to the brand itself and their commitment to integrity when it comes to the build of their shoes. Like I said, I can't vouch for them for skating shoes just yet, but as soon as I do start to skate them, I'll let you know. Overall, they're not something that you might pick if you have a very limited budget, but I would give them consideration even if you are on a budget, because I believe that these will last you much longer than any other skate shoes or any other shoes that you buy, just because of their materials and what they put into them. So overall, you might actually end up spending less money on these shoes in the long run, even though it would be a greater initial investment. Well, that's pretty much all I have to say about the Cariuma Catiba Pros in the all-white leather right now. Like I said, I'm gonna get back, skate them, and tell you how I like the way they skate. But for now, if you enjoyed this video, if you found it at all helpful, or if you would like to see more eco-conscious fashion reviews, please subscribe, like this video, and make sure when you subscribe, hit the little notification bell so that you can be notified next time I make a video. And if you have any other questions or any products that you would like me to review, just let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much. Have a great rest of your day. Okay guys, so one last thing I wanted to point out before we go is actually the box that these come into. So it's super great because it is made out of recycled materials and it is recyclable itself as well. This box right here, that is the shoe box itself, is also the shipping box. So it's shipped internationally in the same box that it's stored in, just to conserve on as many materials as possible. Also, the paper in here is recycled and recyclable. You got these nice biodegradable shoe inserts which help keep the shape, and you can keep these in your shoes to help prevent creases and keep them nice while you're storing them. Also, just the marketing in here is incredible. They include a little bit here with some nice facts about the shoe. It's a little bit bent because I've had it stored away, but super premium. Once again, these are not your normal skate shoes that you buy for like 20 bucks, 40 bucks. I don't think you can get skate shoes for 20 bucks, but like they're not your normal like $50, $60 skate shoes. Like these are really something premium quality. They put like a little thank you letter in here that was signed by Bill. It looks like, like Bill wrote his name on this. This is not printed. This is actually just like written in pen. So that's really cool. Overall, like I said, I've been so happy with this purchase. And I think that they do a lot of really good things for the planet. And this box itself here is also made, so it's got the 3M strip that you just tear off if you need to do returns. They accept returns from all over the world, and from what I've heard, they're really good with their return policy. I haven't had to return any of the shoes that I got from them. This is my second pair. I also have the OCA High, and I plan on doing a review on those shoes here soon as well. But like I said, this is one of my favorite sustainable shoe companies. Definitely my first choice when it comes to skate shoes. Even though I haven't skated these yet, I'm super excited to get started. And really, as far as I know, they're the only sustainable shoe company out there. I think there might be like a pair of Etnies that plants some trees and does some other things that's pretty good. But this is the most sustainable shoe company as well. Because one of the things that's really important to me is that if you're making a sustainable product, and if you're really committed to sustainability, it's important to me that you don't just have one sustainable product. Your whole company has to be based around sustainability. And so that's really the point. But thank you guys so much, and look forward to hearing from you again.